Greetings, Internet. It's me, and recording from my brand new art studio, which is finally finished. It's got heat, it's got electricity, it's got internet connection. It's beautiful out here. It's not soundproof, admit. It's not designed to be that way, so please forgive the echo. But it's really a great way. It's a great workspace for anything that you would like. As in my case, being an artist, this is going to be my workspace, a place of inspiration, complete with my bookshelf where I've put all of my art of books and my favorite properties, my favorite collections of stories and comics. And I'm also going to be decorating the walls with posters and corkboards so it can continue to be a place of inspiration as my workspace. In other good news, I'm still working for the children's book website Stories to Grow By, which I keep all of the stuff in this average little office folder, and here are just a few the black and whites, glimpses of the black and whites versions of the illustrations that I do. The fully colored versions are available on the Stories site. And another piece of great news that has happened to me recently is I made the front page of my hometown paper. That's something that I'm really happy about. Now for some less fortunate news that happened to me for only a brief time. Me and my sister specifically. The 10-year-old central heater that was installed in our house before we moved in, it's 10 years old. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, maybe I did. It had miraculously served us way past its prime, and now it's only broken down on me and my sister, and we lost central heat and hot water to our house for what looked to be for about a month to a month and a half. I mean, I'm certainly thankful that the worst part of the winter, at least for us, is apparently over when it happened, but still, February is a lousy time to go without heat. Fortunately, we have friends and family members who have come by to help us with it. And first, we should be focusing on getting some hot water. We have gotten some hot water to our household, albeit a limited supply that we need to use fairly sparingly for the time being. But as for our house, we would have to resort to plug-in heaters, or if worse came to worse, we would have to camp out here in my shed, which is an entirely separate complex with its own source of heat. And we still have to go back into the house to use the bathroom, which wouldn't be fun. Still, even though this isn't a fun predicament, we're better equipped to handle it than we very well might be in some other time, probably not even half a century ago. And thank God we found a new boiler that we're aiming to get installed this weekend, if all goes well. If anything happens, the bad news is that there are 3 to 4 cold days predicted for my region of the U.S. this week. But after that, the weather will be getting consistently warmer. And I've made it no secret that I'm someone who tries to stay as positive as possible. It's not that people who are positive never acknowledge when bad things happen or always try to sugarcoat it or deny when there are problems that have any sort of weight, like I know so many people tend to believe, and even I myself admit to I believed at one point, at certain stages in my life. But it's about finding the silver lining to each situation. It's about not wallowing in despair and pain, whatever it is. It's about focusing on working through whatever it is and counting your blessings and even using said blessings as motivations to work through any given problem that you've got going on. Now, obviously, the lesson with Pixar's Inside Out is that you should very much be allowed to have your moments of sadness, and fear, and or anger, but it shouldn't be any one emotion alone constantly working at the wheel. It's not like I wasn't worried when this news about the heater going out first struck that it didn't bother me at all. I had all sorts of questions buzzing around in my head, but particularly how it was going to impact the finances of me and my family. If I'm at the rate that I currently work at my day job, it would take 6 months worth of paychecks, not including paying my share of the monthly rent, to get enough money to replace our boiler. And I'm grateful that I have family to help me with these. We pitch in and support one another, and if there are any big finances that I myself have to pitch in for collaboration on, I will do so, which is why I've kept myself in the habit of not overspending or going over budget. It's a habit that I've been able to maintain long enough to avoid going into debt for this long. I mean, I still do rely on my family for financial support, but I've never gotten myself into a situation where I've needed them to bail me out, at least not in any immediate instant memory. So overall, I wouldn't say that this has been a bad start to the year per se. It certainly has been a bumpy one. As far as entertainment news, I did get around to seeing Spielberg's West Side Story in the theater, which was every bit as worthy of the hype as I was anticipating it would be. I also got done watching the surprise third season of Netflix's Kid Cosmic series, which I had put on my list of best movies and shows of 2021. I say season 3 was a surprise because I wasn't sure if it was going to come or not, but I certainly didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to come as soon as it did. It was only 6 episodes long, each episode being 23 minutes, so it doesn't end on an extraordinary battle that outweighs the final battles of the previous seasons, but it does get surprisingly deep and throws legitimate curves at the audience. So I think it brought the series to a nice close, unless Craig McCracken for some reason decides that he wants to continue it and the network's given the go-ahead. There are definitely some releases that I'll be avoiding, like the one that comes to mind is the Ice Age spin-off Buckwild. But this has also been the year where I've been looking at some other movies that I haven't seen before, like the 1993 comedy Dave, starring Kevin Kline, which is really good and does surprise me, especially given its journey of philosophy. In any case, that's really all I have time for right now, as my computer's about to run out of power. So fingers crossed that this year continues to go great. And I wish all of you the best of luck. And remember, count your blessings.